Okay. What's going on, guys? Just give me 1 second. Hey guys, what's going on? Sorry. Whoopsie. There we go. Gotta be back. Hey, LED lad. Said I missed Nick's stream, but make up for this one. Yo, what's that? Kelly won't ban you in the chat this time. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if that completely crashed on us, or if we will pop back eventually. Nope, we're back. Sorry. You guys know how my driver likes to shit itself. It's only temporary. What is that? This is a blaster. Right now it's kind of acting as a test shell for some, believe it or not, tests. It's eventually going to be a blaster, and I have a plan for it. It actually has a name waiting for it. This is eventually going to be my personal sidearm, and I believe the designation is... shoot, you guys probably know it better than I do. Oracle Divide. It's eventually going to be my sidearm, but for now it's working as a testing platform, and I still need to wire this up properly in preparation for tomorrow, and so I'm just going to do that real quick. Hey Tiger, what's going on? Just had my driver. Where did I put that? Charging my batteries for tomorrow in the other room as well. It's really weird if you're used to blasters with thumb screws. If you pick up like a stock blaster or something, you go to open the battery tray, it's like, oh, that's weird. Why did you use a blue strife? Because it's eventually going to be my personal strife. Not all of the screws are in. Come on with this display driver crashing, man. Ah, that's annoying. Hold on. Okay, usually it only happens like twice, and then it gives up, and it'll be fine from then on. So hopefully we don't have any more interruptions. But you guys know by now, every now and again it might interrupt. Nightfinder XBZ, what do you think? It would be plausible if you had an HPA rig, not so plausible if you're trying to pump it every shot. I haven't played Destiny 2 in a long time, actually. It got very stale, and I don't... It's not the game it used to be, unfortunately. I haven't played many video games at all, to be fair. I'm doing pretty good. Oh, for the love of God. This is absolutely ridiculous. For the love of all that is good and holy, I swear. I swear. Unfortunately, Nick, it is not YouTube. My display driver keeps crashing. Since I run Windows 7 and don't really like Windows 10, NVIDIA has decided to punish me and basically, oh, are you having trouble with your drivers on Windows 7? That's too bad. Update to Windows 10. So every now and again, my display driver crashes and it cuts out the stream. So yeah, I was trying not to get pissed off about it, but freaking 3 times in a row. If it keeps happening, I am gonna freaking blow a gasket. Where am I? Sorry that it keeps cutting off, guys. Okay. So I got a Neo Rhino, Neo Hellcat set up in here with one straight wheel and one off-center wheel. I got sent a bunch of wheels, but so far the ones I've tested have all been crooked. But we will see if I can't find any straight ones. But for now, we just want to put some leads on here. It's still running because the Hellcats are torquey enough, but I really wish they would stop messaging. Okay. Let's get set up here. 3S. I'm not going to burn out my motors because I want a few extra FPS. Thank you, Joshua. Do you use AccuFix or waffles? I use waffles. You fixed the Eclipse cage? Sort of. I got one that's still crooked technically, but it's made up by the fact that it's not as crooked as the other ones, and the Neo Hellcats are torquey enough to overcome it, but it's still technically not straight. Yeah. So yeah, but whatever. New connectors. Reach. It's just testing, so we'll just take the pre-cut crap. Okay, so it was funny. Someone was like made a post on Nerf Mod is Welcome or something the other day, how XT60s were so much better than Dean's connectors, and someone in the comment section was saying that like if you plug it into the other side when you're heating this up and like soldering everything on, it will keep everything aligned, so that way it's not hard to put together and pull apart. And I'm like, maybe you should get real Deans instead of this cheap crap, and or maybe get a better soldering iron that can heat this up properly, because I've never had these heat up to the point where they start melting and moving the stuff. I like both of them. I think they both have their advantages and disadvantages, but I've never had trouble like pulling them apart or anything. Let's figure out where we are first. I'm hearing what screws getting stuck to the motors. I never recommend doing this the way I'm doing it, because the contacts are actually on the table themselves. Like, if you're going to do this, take the cage out or something, do it properly, which I might actually have to... Never mind, I actually have to, because I don't have the clearance to solder it. But, just be careful if you're dragging the contacts on something. Just be wary of where they are. Because it's just a test platform, I haven't done a proper cover or anything. It's literally just a hole. So, let's call it right there. Just kind of guess. Hawkeye, you're guessing? Yes, I am. Boop. There we go. They're Neo Hellcats. Are you gonna get gameplay with this? I'm not sure because it's shooting a little hot for our games. It's shooting around 170. Jumps up to 180 every now and again. And that's a little hot for our games. I just kind of want to test the accuracy and stuff. Hey Danny, what's going on? Had a bit of a crappy day, so hopefully this makes life a little bit better. Okay. Those are minus. Make sure I did that correctly. Yes. Okay. So that goes in there like that. That's upside down, which is freaking perfect. Let's try to do this. There we go. I wish I had multi-flywheel blasters, soldering iron, mod parts, test them. I bumped up my iron to 730 degrees. I think it's working a little bit better because I use lead-free solder. I just prefer it. Everybody's like, don't use that, it's stupid, it's terrible. I've never had any problem with it. Let's try not to kill myself with smoke. Yeah, Neo Hellcats. Let's just... Yeah, let's just do this for now. That's one. +2 on accuracy. Are you saying it's accurate, or are you saying, like, I want to see what the accuracy is? Is there something wrong with the way the flywheels are? Yes. One of them is scraping, but I found one that's, it's tilted, but it's not tilted. It's still scraping, but it's still enough for the Hellcat to overcome the friction and still run, so... That's my lipo done. I gotta charge more, so give me 1 sec to put in another. Yeah, put in another battery. There we go. Another battery's starting up. How accurate is it? He's saying. I don't know. That's why I'm going to test it. I've kind of pissed off quite a few people saying that I've had any trouble with the Eclipse cage, like to the point of like almost being threatened. So, um, I'm kind of done talking about the troubles of the Eclipse cage. I'm just gonna do my best to test it. Why, it's bouncing off that lead weird. There we go. Wasn't sticking to that for a second. I would enjoy soldering so much more if the fumes weren't deadly. I like soldering. Caleb leaving? Okay, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. I don't want to die in the pool tomorrow. Where's my... Oh! Okay, glad I'm wearing a jacket. Flicked it at me, and the little bit got on me. But luckily, it got on my jacket. That could have been much worse. There we go. Use lead-free solder. You won't die as easy, Ben. It's not much more expensive. This is lead-free solder. That's what I was just saying. I mean, you're still going to die, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of other chemicals in there that... Because this is also rosin core, so... I have a scar on my leg from Biohazard. I'm always tried, don't solder your lap while you're wearing boxers. Yeah. Also, someone posted a picture of their crappy wiring job on a Dean's connector and was like, I had to do it weird because blah, blah, blah. And I saw the picture and I wanted to throw up. I was like, oh my god, that's awful. It's terrible. No offense to them. And the question is, do we want to... Oh! The question is, do we want to pull out the entire lighter, or just like freaking see if we can do it this way? Maybe if I just hold it real close up above. I'm not actually touching it because I don't want to melt the stuff onto the iron. I don't feel like pulling out my heat gun. If this is a more official thing, I would, but I'm just testing it for now. I think it's working. Granted, it's slow and painful, and it would probably be more efficient and quicker in every way, shape, and form for me to just get the proper tool, but am I going to do that? The answer is no. There we go. That's slightly less than terrible. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and snap this thing back together and see if we've done it or if we've screwed up. Oh, I should probably pull this thing up. I think I hadn't done a stripe before or something. You're only using 2 screws, Hawkeye? Yes, I'm only using 2 screws. Testing platform. Testing platform. I don't plan on going on long adventures with this. Morning? What do you mean good morning? But hello, Neo. What do you all prefer, flywheels or springers? I prefer flywheels, if that wasn't obvious. Where did my other screws go? There's one of them. There's the other one. Oh, there's another one. Underneath the cover. What size drill bit? This isn't a drill bit, it's a Phillips. Oops. There we go. Let's grab a lipo just to make sure everything is correct. And the magazine. Oh, turn off the soldering station. Don't need that anymore. Or at least, hopefully we don't need that anymore. First look at PC per spring to find later. Are you supposed to see sparks on the inside of the motors? I've been getting that question a lot. Like people have been asking that all over Reddit, all over Facebook. The answer is yes. A short amount of sparks when you first start revving it is completely normal. If you're seeing constant sparks flying everywhere on the inside, a little bit's okay. But if you're seeing constant sparks everywhere, flying everywhere, that's not a good thing. But a small amount of flarks of freaking sparks is normal. Oh my god, everybody's messaging me. Hold on. Sorry. Let's make sure everything still fits and everything's still good and not dodgy. It's a 3S. It's a 3S Turnigy bolt. I get the V1s as opposed to the V2s. If you look up Turnigy bolt, you'll notice that there are two of all of the batteries, and you might be thinking, what's the difference? If you look closely, it's very subtle, but if you look closely, one of them says V1, one of them says V2, or nothing. In the title it says nothing and then V2. I get the V1s because the specs are basically the same, except the V2 has thicker wire, more like the graphenes. I don't like the thicker wire. I'm not going to be utilizing the full effect of this battery, and so that's completely fine for what I'm doing with it. And it's just a lot easier to maneuver. I'm not terribly worried, Nick. Oh, that's tight. Why is that so tight? That's weird. It's tighter than normal. I wonder if that's the magazine. Anyway, let's get some shots off. Well, it's working. It's definitely working. It just doesn't sound healthy. Sorry. Ear rape. Forgot you guys were there. I think it's the cage being thick in the front. What? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. No, it's a Nerf mag. I completely forgot that you guys were affected by loud noises. Sorry. Tight because you over-tighten the screws? That shouldn't really be possible because the shell itself should stop that. I would just strip the screws. From the mag feed being tight? No, like it's starting down here. I don't know if there's like residue on the inside of this or something. I have a feeling it might be the mag. Oops. So that was easy. Didn't really have anything planned besides that. Sure we can think of something. Hey Ryan, what's up? Just fixing the case properly because I just had like the lead coming out with an XT60 for like testing, but I want to test it tomorrow, so I hooked up a proper Dean's. Oh yeah, can you go ahead and put him in a timeout, Gavin, if you're there? Hey Jay, what's going on? I wanted to wire this up real quick because I just had XT60s, an XT60 hanging out the side, hanging out the top. I wanted to get it ready for tomorrow. Oh, jeez. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot I put a battery in there. Sorry, guys. That scared me just as much as it just scared you. I'm gonna take the battery out. I wanted to get it ready for tomorrow, though. Holy crap, that scared the crap out of me. CJ Productions, can you put him in a timeout, please? CJ, you're getting a warning. See it happen again, you'll get banned, etc., etc. You chronograph nearby? Not nearby, but when I was testing it earlier, it was getting like 170. I'll test it more tomorrow. Fresh Blue Strife. Where did you get that, Nick? He's got connections. How's it going? It's going good. What's up, man? Now we can safely hit the button. So that's that. Now what do we do? Let's put some of this stuff away first. So, we might as well do this. My microshot came in, was it today? Yesterday? I think it came in yesterday. I actually can't remember. Yeah, it came in yesterday. It has such potential. It looks great. Until you start looking at it. And this is going to annoy people like me and Nick. Sadly I can't use my Caliburn tomorrow. That sucks, why not? What happened to it? I thought about doing that, Gavin. I want to. There's a few things. Nick, I'm not sure if you are seeing what I'm seeing right off the bat. It's one of the first things I noticed when I got it in my hands. Notice anything? First one to think of what I'm thinking of gets some brownie points. I don't think they'll make the Hyperfire, unfortunately, just because it has a stock. Yeah, Ryan got it. It's an Eclipse. Nope, it's not the trigger. Besides no screws. That's one of the reasons why I say I want to modify it, but I'm not sure if I'm able to. The rail is wrong. Not only is it orange, which it's supposed to be gray, light gray, but it's also the wrong shape. There's supposed to be notches in there. The rail is completely wrong. It's not even from the same blaster. The barrel does actually have detail. So, yeah. And then you flip it around, and it gets worse. Not only is this, you're like, oh no, it's lacking paint. That's not the worst part. They cut into the shell to add text, the warning text. It's all over. It's here, it's here, it's here. So you see this dark gray line right here and all of the detail inside of here. You flip it over, that's completely gone. That line right here is completely gone on the other side. And all of the detail inside of here, all that, completely gone on this side. It's just flat. That's a real bummer. It's worse when you look at it like this. Yeah, kind of ruins it for you, doesn't it? But it's still a fun little blaster. It's kind of cool. It makes me want to fix it, but like if I'm even gonna try, I want to get the shells apart properly, and to do that, I would kind of have to boil it. And I have a feeling I'm gonna destroy it. You can easily fix it with, not easily, I take that back, but you can fix it with polycarbonate. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. And, you know, with the solvent weld there and no screws, it's kind of, it's kind of a killer there. I have a feeling we're going to get a white strife. I have a feeling it's going to be the modulus strife. But it's a cool little blaster, and I'm glad I got mine. It was $10, and I know they're going to go on sale for less than that later. But it's kind of a fun little blaster. This hammer really is begging to do something with it. But what I would like to eventually do is, if I can figure out how to snap this apart, I would like to cut the cylinder off, take a polycarbonate tube, put that in there, put a aluminum tube, put that on the inside, so it's emulating Cursed Companion, put some LEDs in there, and then make a metal hammer, and then get some metal inlay and stuff, and see if I can make a metal trigger. I think that'd be really fun. And then obviously make everything even, because screw that. But make the rail correct. I think that'd be fun, but I would have to open it first, and I'm not sure if I can do that without ruining it, so. I've never been more rustled. But if they don't paint half of the modulus strife, it will match. Yeah. No, I'm probably not going to use it tomorrow. Not enough time in the day, unfortunately. So, hopefully I ruined it for someone else besides myself. At the very least, I know I ruined it for Nick. Sorry, Nick. Oh! It's kind of at the bottom of the bin. I'll get it. Hold on. Finished this. Finished. Happy with it for now. It's not a perfect seal, obviously, but it's definitely better than it was. The McMaster skirt seal did indeed work. Took a little bit of adjusting. Basically, I should have it here. No idea where it went. But I took a little plastic, excuse me, a little polycarbonate disc that I made. I cut out a little disc, and then I chamfered one of the edges so it was about 45 degrees. And it's just a small one that fit over the plunger head on the front. And then I made a larger disc out of 1/8 inch polycarbonate to fit the plunger tube loosely. And then I squished the skirt seal in between that and squished it together. I just drilled and tapped a hole into the plunger rod, which seems to work fine. And then I kind of squished it together to lengthen it, squeeze out the plunger head a little bit, and that worked fine. I only have the stock spring in here as well as a stock long shot spring, so it's definitely not a heavy draw. It's a very light draw. But I was just kind of fooling around with this blaster anyway. It's getting about 100 feet per second, and it's just polycarbonate 1/2 inch ID, and just front loads like that. And it's a fun blaster, so. Bunch of people messaging me tomorrow. I have trades with like 4 or 5 people tomorrow. You can kind of see the plunger tube rod back here, like kind of how quickly it's leaking out. Definitely good enough, especially for the like 30 minutes I put into it. Fun little plinker. But that's the update on that. Don't have a lot going on. I just kind of need to get my mind off other stuff, so here I am. Should put these GoPro mounts away properly before they get so dirty I can't use them. It's just because they're new, Nolan. They'll get cheaper as time goes on. For instance, $100 for the Nemesis. Oh, that's crazy. It was like $100 for like the first week. And now it's constantly under 80. So it's just how it works. Something new, more expensive. I just wanted one. So what do you guys want to see? Is there something that you guys want to see, or what's going on? What's in your heads? What do you want to see from Hawkeye? This is a black resin. I tested this months and months and months ago. Way too hard. The durometer is like freaking 82. Which, if you don't know what that means, it's freaking hard. This is more brittle than crystal clear parts. I'm sure I could. Yeah, that was no effort at all. I'm afraid I'm going to explode and kill myself, but yeah, way too brittle. But it comes out black initially. It's also very thick. More of glass construct. Let me think for a minute. Make a deplorable, please. Ugh, I'm so sick of that going around. What brand resin is that? Let's move on. Yeah, if you know anything about durometer, that's an 82D in shore hardness. That is very hard. That's like what the fuck hard. I mean, what the heck. My bad. Yeah, it's onyx. Not great. It's not great. It's black. Don't get me wrong. It does its job very, very well. But modest sentinel? No thanks. I don't have a sentinel anyway. I've never even bothered to open my deploy. If I see, the problem is I don't think it's worth it to even take the time with my electric driver. I don't think it's even time to open it. And even if I did take the time to open it out of sheer curiosity, it definitely 100% would not be worth putting back together, and I would never get it together again. I actually can't remember, Gavin. You'd have to look at the spec sheet. Open up deploy GL, getting it back together. What? What is GL? See if we can spare this connector. Horrible fate of being destroyed. Good luck. Oh. I got you. Wow, that battery charged fast. Either that or I've just been going longer than I realized. That felt like that battery charged real fast. Desolder that later. Should do a 5v5 thing tomorrow? Maybe. Can I buy those leads off you? Nope. Hold on. Jalen, I don't owe you anything. Or not Jalen, Jason, I don't owe you anything, right? I've had so much like scheduled for like trading and stuff. I actually had to start writing it on paper. I'm just trying to make sure I remember everything for tomorrow. You get a metal box that you store your lipos in. If you go to Walmart, you can get a 50 caliber metal ammo can in the the gun section. It's like 14 bucks when I got it. Are you going to film the war tomorrow with your new GoPro? I'm going to try. No guarantees because I'm inexperienced. But I am going to try it at the very least. Hey, what time is it for you guys? It is almost 10 o'clock here. Hellcats? Is that the only thing? I'm always bringing those, so. I have money, 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 money. Money. There's no gun section in Walmart in Canada. That's funny. Adjust the crap out of the camera if you are. If I am what? Man, I wish I was in Texas. Move to America. Oh, by the way, I was totally right. The plunger rod in this is nylon, and it does not stick to the methyl methacrylate. So if you're opening one, don't waste your time. It's still drilled and tapped just fine. Fine. As you can see, I had a part of a K26 here. I was thinking about putting it in, but I don't know. I just don't think I want that kind of power out of this. I was I'd rather have the longevity and only 100 feet per second. It's just kind of a plinker. It's definitely an odd blaster, to say the least. And you said I could have glass construct. Very funny. Figured out some stuff for my recording audio. The microphone that I ordered just came in today, and so I've been messing with that. Had a bit of a scare, but I fixed it. Tell you guys more about that later, probably Sunday or something. Yeah, I'm running out of things to do. We're only at 52 minutes, but I really don't have anything left that I wanted to do besides that. By the way, the never mind. Not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. The thing I posted, Jason, in the Facebook group, those the covers for like under $10 or whatever. The frames themselves are that cheap. It was like 116 for 15, but the cloth is stupid expensive. Like, it's gonna be like at least $150, not to mention someone's gonna have to sew all that stuff together, and by someone I know it's eventually gonna be me. So we need to figure out what we need to do about that, or if someone has cloth that we can use or whatever, because that's gonna be the expensive part. He failed to, Jangular failed to supply the most expensive part of that build. Modded deploy, please. God, kill me. Hawkeye, trade you a blue strife for the 3B. That's actually kind of tempting. Well, this one is the newest one. As far as I know, it's the newest one. Original release was in 1998. Then they released another color variant in 2005. And then this one was from 2011. And so this is the newest plastic you can get for this. Not to mention I like the purple, and it has the Avengers thing on the side, which I don't care for, but this is my favorite color from them, and it just happens to be the newer plastic, so this is actually a pretty good one. This one was in good shape. Why do you need to make cover? For the gym. If we were going to do the gym. Have you not been in Hanu recently? We were just talking about that. Took mine apart because I was curious. Never seen it again. Never seen again. It was never seen again. Who likes football here? Do you, Hawkeye? Not really. I don't follow it at all. I don't watch it at all. I mean, when the Super Bowl comes on, I might watch it. I didn't watch the last one. I watched the last one before that. It's kind of whatever. I know, like, the rules and stuff, though. Like, if you threw me in a football game, I know what's going on. Sorry, fiance. Ben, you're modding a Busby. I'm assuming that was supposed to be gun. Am I? Why would you say that? I don't think I am. It would take 55 minutes out of our day to listen about a toy. We took 55 minutes out of our day to listen about a toy. Sorry, I'm super tired. It's been a hell of a day. On summer, nerds rule the world. Yeah, Trico, woo. Family's big in football, but they hate me because I am not. I'm sure that's not true. The gem from Busby. I've never heard of it. Well, I'm sure I've heard of it. I would have to see a picture, though. I don't bother memorizing Busby names. It's literally called the gem. Okay. What does that one look like? What does it do? I'd have to look it up. I find it's good to have... This is the kind Bobo uses. This is in the plumbing department. But I find a stick of this is good to have around, even though I prefer the epoxy sculpt, which dries much, much slower. But it's nice to have this around, not for anything else, just because this cures in 5 minutes, or sets in 5 minutes. And it's like ready to go in like 30 minutes or something like that. So it's kind of nice to have one of those in stock, but I guess not everyone can have like a fully stocked kitchen. There's a surprising amount of blasters I could make if I just decided, hey, I want this blaster right now. I could go out and make almost anything from like a popular line or something. I probably have enough material here to make an entire homemade 6 times over. If you ever run a rival blaster, I enjoy having a fully stocked kitchen, so to speak. It makes me feel like I can actually do stuff without worrying about other stuff too much. Jim, okay. So if you had to run a rival blaster, what would it be? It'd be the Nemesis. Gem, it's like wizard. If you know what that is. Nope, I don't know what that is. Chronos. I woke up at 5 in the morning. I had to wait in the cold for 30 minutes till someone from school. That sucks. Chronos. What blaster would you want Hasbro to do? What blaster would you want Hasbro to do? Blaster that Hasbro could... I would be interested in seeing a Caliburn from Hasbro. Again, like, you guys know me, I'm really sick of Caliburn. But the Caliburn actually is shaping up to be a decent design that would actually make a decent resellable blaster. And it'd be curious to see that. Obviously, that's never gonna happen, but it'd be cool to see like a competitive line, something that shoots like 120 feet per second stock. Like targeting like 18-year-olds or something like that. Have like something to actually compete with airsoft or something. What 3S should I get for the Hellcats? I have Bolt, but Nick will be like, haha, that only takes like 50 charges before it dies. But I mean, I recommend the Bolt just because the bolts and the graphenes are essentially the same, except the Bolt V1s, not the V2s, but the V1s have thinner wires, and that's nice. So up to you. Look into Bolt or graphenes. Negative 40 degrees Celsius. Funny, negative 40 degrees Celsius is also negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey Phoenix, what's going on? It would be potential cause of problem. Yeah, I know. If you put the same warnings on an airsoft gun and be like, yo, this isn't a toy, I mean, potentially you could, you know, put it in the same category as like that. It would be interesting, like, try to differentiate the two ones by having a half-length blaster that shoots higher like that, so that you physically couldn't, you know, interchange the ammo. That would be interesting. Like, have a, like an airsoft like line, but that uses half-length darts. Make their own katana mags and stuff. I think that would actually be doable. That would be interesting, though. What? What baby was that? on your screen? It wasn't a baby. What are you talking about? I'm getting some zippy lipos mainly because I have $100 to spend. If you're going to get lipos, get them off of Hobby King. You're basically kind of gambling anywhere else, even Amazon I don't trust because they can have third-party people selling. Always get your lipos and lipo stuff off of Hobby King or another reputable website like that specifically does hobby stuff. I do recommend looking into graphene though. They do have thicker wires, so that might be something you need to consider though. Out of darts. Out of darts is also going to be more expensive in the lipo department. That was not a baby picture. What voltage do you recommend to store lipos? You can, if there's way more information on, if you look up general lipos, like for hobby grade stuff, not just Nerf. I hate to say it, but a lot of the people in the Nerf community don't really know what they're talking about in terms of lipos. Like they're like, never leave them charged for more than 24 hours. You can leave them for like 2 days fully charged. It's not going to hurt anything. But the storage voltage, each cell, so 2S lipo, you can like look at the individual cells and stuff. Each cell should be stored at 3.8 to 3.85. But if you have a decent charger, it should automatically put it to that. You shouldn't need to like manually figure that out. Oh, please don't hate me, but I just ordered 2S graphene from Out of Darts. Not my money, I don't care. Ramrod for my Caliburn still isn't here. Oh, that sucks. Did you get a metal one? Good choice if you got the metal one. Or did yours break and you just ordered another one? Can't buy lipos easy because most retailers are from other countries than Canada. So I don't know if Hobby King has the ability to ship them to Canada, because I know Canada has a bunch of restrictions and stuff. But if anywhere did have the ability, it definitely would be Hobby King. So you might as well check that. I'm getting the chargers I'm getting the charger you recommended, so will discharge for me. Yeah, I can show you what that's actually, it's plugged in right now. Yeah, like when you like the bottom left, it'll say like what the charge rate is. Just keep that at 1 amp. On the bottom right, it will tell you how many cells you have, 2S, 3S. If you hit the start button and then you select over, you can select whatever it is. And then plug in both your balance lead and your charger. Hold the thing, it'll go doo-doo-dee, and then that basically is checking to make sure everything's plugged in correctly, and then you hit it again and that will start your charging. Always use either balance charge or storage. You don't really need, there's regular charge, which is fine, and then there's fast charge. Never use fast charge, it's not worth it. It basically just dumps voltage in there and hopes that your cells are balanced. Don't really do that, it's not great for the battery. And then storage obviously is storage. You shouldn't need any other setting. Just leave the charging rate at 1 amp. Should be fine. Mine broke, so he sent me another one. That sucks. I have a metal one. I had mine before it was cool. Oh, please explain how XPZ tanks. Oh, yes, Gavin. Thank you. I'll go over that in a second. Like the FDL note is getting meta one soon. That's good. Do you a lipo charger tutorial if you can? I need to do that. Using normal charge is fine as long as the cells start the same voltage. I've seen people say that you usually do balance charge every 10 or so charges. It doesn't save a ton of time for me. I just always do the balance. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but Gavin, no, you're fine. Okay, so hold on. There's actually a seam that you can't see on these things. So if you twist hard enough, you can actually get them open like this. Don't try that because I actually cut this open. I'm just kidding. But hold on, I got a message. Just give me 1 second. So basically, it's a very simple system. It's a back pressure system. It's basically a QEV inside of the tank. There's this little rod that shifts back and forth. It's loose in there. And you got a little hollow cup in here. And that doesn't need to be airtight. It's helpful if it's more airtight, but it doesn't need to be airtight, which is why there's no rubber gasket anywhere on here. It saves money on Busby's part. But this is where you need the gasket. This is what's going to hold the pressure, so there's a little rubber knob on the end of this. So you have a kind of a tube on the inside of there, and this cup sits over that tube. Just like that. And so that's what's going to hold that in place, because it can only travel a very, very small amount. The end of this is just a hole on the end of there. All those ribs on the inside are just guiding the thing. So as you can imagine, it just goes over like that. So that's what that does. So basically there is a one-way valve on the inside of here. So you pump it, it goes into the one-way valve. This button is basically just a valve that you can open and close. It's closed by default, obviously. It fills up the inside of here, and then it goes to the next chamber, which is the tube, and then into the main tank. So it's filling up the tank. So now this smaller chamber, again, one-way valve, short tube off the end of this thing. So that's one little chamber here. This button is connected to the smaller chamber. These two pressures are the same. Since the pressure on the inside of this tank is greater than the outside of this other end, that's automatically going to push this seal forward as much as it can. When you relieve the pressure in the back here, it's going to empty this tank of the pressure via the button, which is why you get that little blast of air outside this. That pulls this forcefully down, which relieves the pressure from here and opens up the little hole there. And then the rest of the tank is dumped out the front. That makes sense? Hope that made sense. I get it now. Okay. Engineering. Am I right? Yeah. You're going to have some fun soon, Gavin. So you can actually split these tanks up, and the polycarbonate for the Caliburn is actually the perfect fit for this. It slips right over, and you can, like, I wouldn't trust it, but I've seen people epoxy them on methyl methacrylate and stuff. And then you can actually extend this and basically just extend this bar. And I've seen people extend the tank volume on these. That's I wouldn't say pretty common, but in the HPA planes of existence, it's relatively common. Whoops. Yeah, so Nick did it. So you gotta charge it, you can push on enough amps wattage, charge multiple packs at once. Do you recommend the LiPo chargers on Out of Dart's Etsy page before starting up. Not sure what he has. Let's go check. Whoops. Whoops. That's not how you spell darts. What charger does he have? Hell no. Hell no. Don't get that one, please. That is a cheap $12 charger. Nope. I would never recommend that. Then he has a bigger Turnigy one. I would still not recommend that one. To that I say get a proper one. If you're just charging it by the balance leads, you're not doing it right. It works, but you're not doing it right. Get a proper charger. Look up the iMax, what is it, iMax B6 or something like that. B6 V2. Just be careful because they have fakes out there. That's another reason why I recommend Hobby King. In particular, vacuum pins. Well, it's not even really vacuum. It's just the back pressure is less than the tank pressure, so it has to move that valve. Because since the tube's there and then the cup is here, it fills it no problem because it comes out the tube and it just kind of like moves it that way, and then it kind of leaks out the sides, which is fine. But then when the pressure in here is less, it's trying to get the air from the big tank and it suctions it closed. And then when it moves the entire rod backwards, it's now easier to get the air out the front. I think Liam Davis is working on a metal XBZ. Hey Kelly, what's going on? Would you make the rod lighter to release crisp? I don't think it really matters. There's no reason for it to be heavy duty, but do you see the Nemesis Stampede integration on our Nerf? I don't think so. Probably check that later. Still need to figure out what I want to do with my Nemesis. It's pretty slick. Top post right now. How many upvotes does it have? Wait, so how does it fill the trigger tank enough and then fill the main? No, it fills them both at the same time. Because remember, it has no problem filling because the way the cup is designed is loose on there. It's not a perfectly tight fit. So when you fill it through this, out this way, it just kind of backs off and fills it no problem. What should I do with my Raven? You should cut it in half. Well, I now have 2 LiPo chargers coming in the mail. 69? 96. Dang. Wait, you have a Nemesis? I do. I have a blue one. Got it for Christmas from my fiance. Ben, you could integrate a hammer shot grip into the Nemesis. Yeah, right. To that, I say, yeah, right. How does it isolate the trigger tank? The cup. When you release, because remember, the button is back here in the smaller tank. So when you release the pressure from there through the button, because you press down the button, it just vents out the button. The pressure in the smaller tank is now less than the main tank. So it tries to pull air from the big tank. In doing that, it suctions the cup back on, and now it's easier to release out the front. Got it now, Gavin? Just give up on bringing a new blaster to NWAR 2018, or just buy a Hera and go rival. Nah, keep going. You can make Nemesis Bullpup. I hate Bullpup bulky blasters, in my opinion. Maybe that's just me. See ya, Discord party going on. See ya. You do shit and then make a Tech 3. Trek 3? Assuming you meant Tech 3. Busby makes no sense. Are you just saying that because it's a complicated... It's a very simple design, but you have to understand how it works, I guess. But it's not that complicated. Because the one-way valve prevents the air coming out of the pump. So... if I do this, this should go flying. See? Why'd you cut it in half? I'm just curious. No, it makes sense. Because they made things... I know why I did, but why did you? Seriously, you should look at this integration. Has clear bits? I will. I will after this. Integrate half of Hyperfire into the Nemesis. Not sure what I'm going to do with mine. It's so bulky, it's hard to do anything with it, really. It's a remarkably simple design. It's pretty ingenious. Whoever originally thought of the QEV, like, that must have been a huge breakthrough. I wonder who invented that. It's the top post right now, Trico. Oh, okay, that works. Thank you, Phoenix. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Finally, someone who made a bullpup version that doesn't look like complete garbage. I wish there was better... is there an album or something? Because I wish I had a better picture. Looks pretty good. Just go on Reddit, Gavin. Yeah, he needs to post more. That kind of sucks. Nemesis or Chaos? Anyone? Definitely Nemesis. Yeah, no problem, Gavin. Happy to explain. Sorry I wasn't available the other day. I'm just a boring little fellow. Actually, apparently not that boring. We've only lost one person in the last half hour, which is surprising. Thank you for sticking around, everybody. Appreciate you kind of hanging around here, especially when we're not doing too much. Try to keep you guys entertained and answer all your questions as much as I can. If you guys have questions, go for it. Always happy to answer them as best I can. Might not be the best source to answer the questions, but here I am. Ben, are you ignoring my suggestions because PF how ridiculous they are? Oh, I'm just not noticing. Ben, integrate two hyperfighters and then... Yeah, it was... Because of how... mess with your Nemesis. Okay. Hold on. Let's put this away. very carefully so we don't burn ourselves. Hold on. Sorry, took a pit stop and to start another battery. What were you going to? The Hanuor, Houston area Nerfers Unite. It's my local place. Would you expand the tank in the future since your curiosity has been solved? I mean, I really have nothing else to do with it, so I might as well, but I don't have any reason to do it right now. My thumbs are getting bigger? No? I'm sorry. Could you start modding the Nemesis? But not like how the chat goes completely silent when you go away for a bit. Make me want a Nemesis so I don't spend money on this. Okay. Yeah, might as well open it up. I don't see any harm in that. Do I have my driver anywhere? Where did I put my driver? Got it. Yeah, Nemesis is pretty large. So I've never done this before. Oh, good lord. Really? Look at this. Why? Whatever. Okay, that one's in there tight. That'd be why. That one was pretty long. It's funny, there's actually machine marks right here. You hear that? I'm not sure if that texture is on purpose. There's some here as well. Oh, it's actually all over the blaster. I guess that's on purpose, but I didn't realize that was like that. There's like... It almost looks like print lines. I kind of don't like that. Oh my god, that one's deep. That's actually too deep for any of my stuff. Really? Let's see. Ben, before you mod it, clean your station, random workshop. Yeah, I have way too much to clean up to do that. Right in the middle of a stream. Just open it up, no harm. And that spends the next 3 hours running it through, yeah. What's up, man? What's going on? Mine's around the Hera too. Guess it's on purpose. I need a deeper screwdriver. Let me think. Do I have one? Not readily available. Hold on. I don't know if this one's thin enough. There we go. Ugh, manual work. So primitive. There are 3 long silver screws near the trigger guard inside the blaster. The Nemesis in 2 parts. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hey, Sonic. I always forget. Boy, that one's tough, too. That one was in there, man. Oh, that's the battery tray, isn't it? There we go. There's actually not that many screws on the Nemesis, all things considering. Oh, crap. I might have just stripped that screw. I think the stock is made out of a different material, but I'm not sure. The stock almost feels soft. I just decided to take apart the Nemesis. Oh. I think I'm stripping these screws. Crap. I'm not sure if I'm making progress on that. That might be an issue. Hold on. I think the screw port's too small to do it like this. It's a little small. I don't think that's working. What am I gonna do? Yeah, working on a Nemesis. I think I stripped one of these screws right out of the gate, unfortunately. Not exactly positive on what my next move here is. Oh god. I can't tell if that worked for a second. Holy crap, it worked. Okay, so that screw's toast. That needs to come off. Okay. I stripped 5 screws in my Nemesis when I did mine a while ago. I'm about to make another one. Dang. I'm just curious. Did I undo that screw? I could have sworn I did. Oh, I guess I didn't. Thought I did, but apparently not. I feel like this one might need to come out. Yep, that was the one. Oh, this one. Didn't see that one. Ben, how would a group of Nemesis be... You're gonna have to spell that better, man. Okay, I don't think there's anything on this side. No, okay. That lever just pops out. Okay, I see Scotch tape right out of the bat. That's always a good sign. Another Scotch tape. More Scotch tape to hold the button in. That is always a good sign. You can tell. That's a good sign. Okay. See a lot of noise isolation for electromagnetic interference. Oh shit. Electromagnetic interference. I didn't even think about that. Well, I think I just came up with an issue with my audio recording for tomorrow, but we will deal with that as it happens. Or do you agree with this? Or Ben, you added into my sentence? Well, it also needs to be spelled better. Would you paint this? Most likely. If I could figure out what mod I wanted to do. Oh, it has these cute little bumpers. Okay. Screw there, holding that in, screw here. Okay. Well, that's interesting and simple. So just pop in there? I guess so. Bumpers on the other side on the screw ports, or at least that screw port. Fascinating. Those are the 3 silver screws that what's his name was talking about to pop the handle off, I guess. Oh, no, no. Okay, these are two separate pieces. Okay, so there's a seam right here. I was not aware that those were two separate parts. And sure enough, there's a sleeving over this, which means that that has to be some sort of, yeah, that's like the same rubbery texture that was on the Hyperfire stock. It's kind of like the same thing. Would a group of Nemesis be a kind or I have no idea. But watch 20 years. So, my name is Neo Hawkeye. Yes, hello. Yeah, that's pretty much all I want to see. The rival blasters tend to have thicker plastic because they tend to be larger and heavier and etc. This is no different. Are those the only two screws? I guess so. Oh look, more Scotch tape. There's another bumper here. Same bumpers on the other side. Hop-ups in there. There's several pegs in here with bumpers, which leads me to believe that there are the same pegs on this side. Yep, there are. All with bumpers. It's a screw there. That comes out, and these pop out. Ooh, someone had to assemble this. There was humans involved in this there assembly. Weird. So it just kind of falls into place there. Okay. Interesting. Good thing I looked at that. I've gotten that before, believe it or not. I sound like Kylo Ren. Hey Vap, what's going on? So yeah, that's the Nemesis. It's fat and as unnecessary as ever. Crap, I think I got grease on my hand. So, yeah, simple mechanism. One motor drives, obviously, both the agitator and the conveyor belt. I don't even know if I don't even think motor braking is necessary on this one because you're not going to get a very consistent rate of fire anyway. Just the inherent design of that, unfortunately, not really a thing. So I wouldn't even bother motor braking. It's just putting more stress on the motors. It's unnecessary. So simple wire up these two motors to the trigger, this motor to the the rev trigger to these motors, the trigger to this motor. Sorry. And then there's plenty of space back here for lipos or whatever. Relatively simple design. It's just a bunch of gears, simple gear train, all that stuff. Relatively large amount of noise isolation for the motor cage. Whoops. Should probably put the front on that first. I'm assuming it's because it's a larger shell and it would make more noise. But maybe these wheels are just so unbalanced and they don't care. Okay, no idea what that piece is. Oh, it's the hop-up. Fun fact, there was no screw in the hop-up. There's a little flap right here for the... Excuse me, there's a little flap right here for the hop-up. You see that, how that just popped off? There was no screw holding that in. It is an interesting choice by Hasbro to make... There's very clearly supposed to be a screw there. I'm not sure if they didn't put one there on purpose to save money because they realized they didn't need it, or if I genuinely was supposed to get a screw in there. If anybody else who has Nemesis can confirm or deny that. It looks like this piece right here prevents that cap from coming off, so something tells me they cheaped out and made a screw port there and then realized they didn't need it and didn't put the screw in. Yeah, Vap, I'm more upset about the lack of shape. The shape on the other side is completely wrong to make room for text, and the rail is completely the wrong shape and color. Mr. I just connected for a few minutes. Now you have the Nemesis open. Your internet's not doing well, is it? It's pretty simple design, basically what I expected. There's not real a whole lot going on. Just curious, just something to do in the stream. I think that's it. Making sure I'm not pinching any wires. Like that right there. The larger the shell, the harder it is to get back together and align properly. Shit, I just heard something pop out. That right there. There we go. Could I send you cast parts? Could I seen... Come on, guys. Try a little bit. Could I seen casted parts for the Nemesis? That doesn't make any sense, but if you're asking if I'm going to do casted parts for this, no. Most likely not. This front... I would want to do the front bit, and the front bit is way too bulky. It's going to be way too expensive for me to justify doing. So, Ben, you have... other questions about any other blaster? God, that's a long screw. Hold on one sec. Fiance first, give me one sec. So many curiosities on the blasters. What do you mean by that, Austin? So just it says large shared rival container. Oh, okay. Sorry, that took a second to process the information. She's doing okay. been better, but she's doing all right. Gotta love the way it pinches the shell together. Oh. Oh, I screwed that down. I was like, what? God, I hate larger blasters. It's just so easy to strip the screws. Not even like how many screws there are. They're so unnecessarily long. Like these... Good lord. Like these really aren't holding the blaster together that much better than a normal size screw would. Oops, sorry. Gotta slip that little ring on the inside over that. Give me one sec. If I'd known it was gonna do that, I would have put it on before I closed the shell. There we go. And I'm not going to screw this last one in because it's toast. Strip the crap out of it. It's gone. Screwed in there. I'm never going to get it back out. Nope, not going to focus. That's fine. Didn't expect it to. This camera loves focusing just on this. No matter how much I block the camera. So, that was interesting. Oh, where does that screw go? Oh, is the one... Oh, that's the one I just threw, idiot. Oh, and then this simply pops in on the other side. There we go. I'm okay with stripping one screw out of like 10 blasters. If, you know, I would still be opening this blaster. I just wasn't pressing hard enough because I didn't care enough. If you ever got a small screwdriver like this that was super light and easy to use, you'd not be saying, it's totally worth it to use a regular manual screwdriver. Way better to use an electric one, no matter how many screws you strip. Well, that was the quick breakdown. Not much to it. That's what you'd expect. Still don't really know what I want to do with it, but I'm sure I'll figure out something. At the end of the day, isn't this the only thing that Rival's good for? Being able to dump rounds into a hopper. Oh, it's already open. I was looking at my camera, that's why. Anywho. Going, oh my god, we've been going for almost 2 hours now. Hour and 53 minutes. I'm still surprised I'm surprised we still have 14 people. Thank you guys for sticking around. I appreciate that. I know it's painful at some points. Stick through it. But yeah, I think we're just about to wrap up. So if you guys have any last questions or comments, go ahead and start leaving those now, and I will get around to those. Sorry it wasn't more eventful tonight. I really did just want to solder that thing on really quick, but for some reason I was like, oh, let's live stream that. Probably shouldn't have. I would have been more productive if I didn't, but who cares? Oh. I'm sleepy. Wait for you guys to leave comments. No, you didn't do mine, but hey, it happens, so hope you have a better tomorrow, man. Have a better tomorrow, man. Okay. Have a good war. Thank you. Okay. I think that just about does it for this episode of Watch Hawkeye Go Slowly Insane. Thank you guys very much for sticking around. I appreciate it. Ryan, Austin, Gavin, Null. Null, are you just now getting here? Because I'm literally about to wrap up. How do you keep doing that? Ooh, yeah. Did you mod the Nemesis? I just tuned in. No, I just kind of popped it open real quick to see what was inside. I actually was just doing something really quick to prep for tomorrow. And then I ran out of things to do, but I still wanted to talk to people, so we just popped open the Nemesis real quick. Remember when everyone in high school was doing that? You're so cool if you could do it. Anyway, thank you guys very much for stopping by. Null, I feel very bad for you. I am sorry. This is like the 3rd time in a row you've done this. We still love you. Hope you kick some ass in tomorrow you're at the war. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you guys very much for sticking around. You guys know I always appreciate having you guys here, so thank you very much for watching. And end stream.